On this episode, we talk about running a profitable agency, how to monetize your Instagram following, and SEO content. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 33 of the AskEngine show. We're excited to kick in. It's a Friday morning and we've got very good things to get to doing. So we're going to jump in.
Yeah, first question from...
let's get to doing.
Get to doing. First question from r/entrepreneur. This guy, Slow Down Brother, asks, how do you keep a web design business financially sustainable? He wants to know some tricks and techniques for continuous income as a freelance web design developer who's building up an agency.
Does he enjoy being a salesperson or does he enjoy doing the work? Because if you're trying to grow an agency, you need to figure out which one you're better at and do that one and hire someone to do the other.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Because it's a funnel.
And I know one tactic that we learned from agency life was billing some up front.
Yeah.
Because that gets the client kind of tangibly involved from the get-go.
Yeah, profit and loss is not the... there's three real important financial statements, and let's look at two of them. Profit and loss is what everyone really looks at. So I'm going to make $10,000 and it's going to cost me $3,000 to do. It's $7,000 of profit. That sounds fantastic. But businesses usually don't go out of business for a lack of profit. They go out of business for a lack of cash flow. So the timing of when you bill and why, I'd rather give up a little bit of profit to have the money in the bank early. So if you pay all up front, they'll do this deal for $9,000 or $9,500 or whatever it is instead of $10,000, and so that helps. The other thing is how do you get out of that cycle of sell, fulfill, we've got to find another client, sell, fulfill. And, when you look at, is there a possibility to productize anything you're doing and have kind of a recurring flow there? Cool. And I don't know.
He even mentions, like, hey, charging clients a sum to build a site's a one-time thing. I would challenge him to think about it as not a one-time thing. Think about building up a support contract. Like,
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm going to update your site or keep things going, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we did that pretty well at Gemini. So we became... before we did Engine, we were basically, we did this, web design, web programming, and part of the contract was we're going to hang around for a year because after we hand this off to you, you're not going to be able to operate it perfectly. I mean, despite our best intentions for that, and you're going to want to make tweaks to it, and if we don't, you're going to call us and try and get free labor out of us. So we would always put a support contract in there 3, 6, or 12 months, depending, and that was kind of the retainer. And I think everyone was really happy with that relationship. It worked really well both ways. Good. Sweet. What's next?
Question 2 from Cora. This user asks, how do I introduce my Instagram followers to my new online store? So I think we need to make some assumptions. Like,
He's got a following already.
Let's assume this person has a following in whatever outdoor space or maybe it's like an everyday carry kind of situation. They have a following. Maybe they're a mid-sized influencer. How do they introduce them now they've kind of branded themselves into an online store?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the description in your profile, go ahead and put the URL there. I mean, that's a really easy thing to do. I don't know. I mean, it gets some traffic. A lot of people will go to your main profile page, and the other is just be cognizant of how you built this following, and don't ruin that following and spam them and say, "Here's my store. Here's my store. Here's my store. Here's my store." You can say that every now and then. But, I mean, it all depends. You're going to have to test into that. Can I say it every third post or is it every 13th post? How would you go about it? Yeah,
I mean, a lot of it is going to depend on your audience, how they're used to being communicated to from you. 3 examples. If you want to take the long tail, look at Casey Neistat and the buildup of Beam. He didn't do it specifically on Instagram. He did it on multiple channels, but he built a vlog that he did for 15 months to introduce his technology company. So for 15 months, he showed his life and teased and talked about this company to then launch it.
A lot of kind of what we're doing here, right?
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. With I don't think we can vlog like Casey.
No, I don't think we're quite.
Just need to put shades on.
Yeah.
And then you can do a giveaway. So another great example is when you're launching, you want to create buzz, whether it be for PR purposes or for a reason for more people to come and a reason for your audience to get excited. Specifically coming to mind, there's a swimsuit company that did a 24-hour giveaway, and I can't remember the exact exact name. We'll put it in the description, pop up their handle here, whatever. But did a 24-hour giveaway, and it was two guys in a college dorm room, and they sold about $300,000 worth of a bathing suit that they didn't have inventory of. That's a great way to introduce yourself to your audience. And then third is just ask. So if an audience is following you, they obviously care about you in some sort of form or way. So I mean, at the end of the day, a company and a founder's ability to ask and ask and ask and ask and not be afraid to do that is going to lead to their success. Lance, who is with Lauren James, he came by Wednesday and talked about, his first job coming out of school was a salesperson, and he built up this muscle to be able to just ask for what he wanted and not be bashful about it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is you've got an Instagram following. Hey, that's great. Instagram organic reach is still pretty nice. I built up about 9 million Facebook fans in my last business, and that was fantastic until Facebook decided to change their algorithm to be from 50%, 56% reach down to 0.5% or less reach. So I challenge you, hey, while the getting's good and your followers still see your posts, get them off the platform onto yours. Be it a giveaway that requires an email address, or actually better yet, transact them while you can and get an actual customer that you can communicate with. So get them off their platform, the Instagram platform, get them off the Facebook platform, get them onto your own system that you control. Build your own platform.
Well, and without going full dream crusher, I will say the final thing too is to temper expectations for that audience, because they may not be an activated, shoppable audience.
Yeah, they were built a different way.
Yeah, they were built kind of through your following. So don't go into it expecting just wild sales from an audience you've built. They may not be the right people to shop your product. So.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get new people as you post out the product. That's I doubt it's worth creating a second channel, but I mean, who knows? Maybe it is. But the people that follow you because of that product are 1 degree off from buying it, and it's more interesting and probably more shoppable.
Last question from r/e-commerce. This person's wanting to know about product descriptions and duplicate content. He works for a manufacturer that does shelves, and his SVP is worried about the duplicate content penalty. So he's been tasked with creating different content for each product description that he makes, and he's frustrated because these are shelves with slight variations in size. He is kind of saying, does Google impose a duplicate content penalty for product descriptions of items that are the same thing with variation? He's been getting mixed answers on that and just wants kind of a definitive.
Yeah.
How does it work?
I mean, duplicate content's a big thing. So if you look at manufacturers selling into multiple well-known retailers, they'll typically give you a stock image, they'll give you a stock description. And so, Google does punish that. So if there's 50 retailers with the exact same description and the exact same image, well, who's going to win that battle? It's the one with the most page rank and the most trust, according to Google. Likewise here, if you've got, let's say, 100 different variations of that shelf, and you've got 100 different products there, all with very similar images and the exact same description, other than the dimensions, that's duplicate content, plain and simple. So there's a couple ways around it, and I don't know the exact specifics here, but number one, the best way would be to completely rewrite the description and make them completely unique. It sounds like that would be a challenge on this, to say the least. So another way to do it is, could this just be a single product with variants? So upload a single product into your e-commerce platform, and then just have parent-child relationships with all the variants, and then you've got one single thing. The third way around is a little more technically complex, and if this is on Shopify, don't even try it, because it doesn't. We've done this before.
Impossible.
It's nigh impossible. But there's a tag in Google called rel equals canonical, and that simply means that in each of them, in the meta descriptions of each of these, let's say 100 products, you pick one of them to be the parent, the canonical, and you canonicalize all the other 99 back to that. So if it's store.com/product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4, product 5, pick one of those, let's call it product as the canonical, and you say rel equals canonical, or store.com/product 1, and link and put that exact same thing in the header of every one of them, and so Google will then see that one as the authority on that. And you could even link back to that product from the header. But the rel equals canonical is kind of the other hack. Super specific.
Yeah.
Any of those three would work. I'm trying to decide which one I probably would put them into a parent-child relationship and a single product.
As long as they're still searchable.
Possible.
On that whatever e-commerce platform this company's using, as long as those products are still individually searchable.
Yeah, you don't need multiple bullets for this.
Yeah.
I mean, this doesn't like the fourth way to look at it is who really cares about SEO on this? Do you really? I mean, are you really going to drive a ton of SEO traffic? And maybe you are. I don't know, but that would
organic
be
traffic for like 3/4 width shelf.
Yeah. Build it for the consumer, not for Google, is basically what I'm saying. So if having 100 products with different dimensions with duplicate content is the best thing for the consumer, who cares about Google a lot of the times today? And that's very hard for me to say as a guy that's been doing this now for 20 some odd years and grew up arbitraging search engines. So there we go.
Coming with the tactical fire on episode 33. Question of the day. Can you spell canonical?
Ooh.
Thank y'all for watching,
I can't.
and we'll see you tomorrow.